My division is Business and Social Sciences, and we actually have 38 different degrees and certificate programs. So we have certificates that are short-term skills certificates, such as real estate salesperson and bookkeeping, that you can complete in as little as one semester, all the way to a Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Logistics Operations Management. And then most of what's in between are certificates of achievement and then associate degrees. And so within my division are multiple different departments. For example, within business, you can focus on accounting and economics and marketing and management and those kinds of disciplines. And then within history, of course, political science, and culinary arts. And then we also have social sciences, which are things like psychology and sociology and anthropology and education and early childhood education and many other things like that. So we have many different things to choose from within the division. For our transfer programs, which we have a lot of as well, what we're trying to do with those is prepare students with the foundation they need to be successful in their bachelor's degree. And that foundation is so key, not only to succeed in the career in the future, but also to succeed with those higher level education courses that they're going to encounter in the future. So I think we give students a really great foundation with our associate level programs that are transfer programs. We have a very good articulation agreement with UNR, so it's a full 2+2 program where the programs that students complete here at TMCC transfer fully to UNR, so they start as a junior. We have advisory boards that we consult with to ensure that our programs, our courses, what we're teaching, and the outcomes from those courses fall in line with what the students will need to know for their careers. There's no point in having a program if it's not teaching the skills that the students need to have to be employable when they get out. The skills that you learn in our programs are going to benefit you for life. So, for example, taking classes in the different business disciplines, they're going to help you with any type of career you choose in the future, even if it isn't business. They're even going to help you with your life skills, with your own finance skills that you're going to need to be a good investor of your own income in the future. With social sciences, those skills teach you more about the world and how to understand people and how to relate within the world. So no matter what career that you go into, those are going to be skills that you'll be able to apply across the board. So our four most popular programs are business, elementary education, psychology, and social work. And I would think that the reason some of those are our most popular, business, of course, those skills are just transferable no matter what type of career you're going to go into. So anything you learn about business is going to apply no matter what you decide to do in your future. Then with psychology and social work, I think those are two very popular ones because I think so many people want to go into helping professions. They want to be able to make a difference, or they might want to go into advocacy for things that matter a lot to them. And then with elementary education, I think there's a couple of reasons that that's really popular. One, there's a huge teacher shortage in Nevada and nationwide. So I think people see that. They know that they would be able to get a job when they completed our programs. There's also, again, the idea of helping people. I think people realize that they can just make an incredible difference in the lives of children as a teacher. So I think our small class sizes are key to what makes TMCC unique. I think because of our small class sizes, students can get really individualized attention. For students that take the time to get to know us, we take the time to get to know them as well. So I think that personalized environment is really unique to TMCC. As far as advice to students who haven't chosen a major yet, I think sampling courses is a great thing to do to get an idea of what draws you in and where your passion is if you aren't sure. I would offer the advice to get to know people and to tell us how we can help you. If we don't know what you need, we can't help you. But if we know what you need, there is a huge team of people that are here to support you and make sure that you are successful in your college career.
You know, one of the things that I absolutely love about TMCC is that we have 3 simple steps to enroll for degree-seeking students. The first one is we want you to apply for admissions. Apply.tmcc.edu. It'll take you 10-15 minutes to complete your application. Super easy to do. We just want some basic demographic information. You gotta tell us what your degree is. That part is really, really important. Make sure that when you get to selecting a degree, that you take your time so that you make the right choice. But it'll take you 10-15 minutes to get step done. And that's it. Apply for admission, step number 1. Step number 2 is you have to complete new student orientation at TMCC. We call that step SOAR. And SOAR currently is completely online, so you can do it from the comfort of your own home. It's really convenient. Should take you about an hour and a half, but really important information about TMCC requirements, what classes you should take, how to enroll in classes, how to make an appointment with an academic advisor. That's all provided to new students through SOAR. And finally, step number 3 is pay for classes. Some recommendations about payment. Students always worry that they have to pay for classes right after they, enroll. And that's not the case. Tuition is typically not due until about a week before the semester starts. So even though we'll encourage you to register for classes really early in April or May for fall registration, you don't actually have to worry, about how to pay until August. And we have a fabulous financial aid office that can help you if you need payment assistance. And you should know that all your formal communications from financial aid, from admissions, will only go to your TMCC email. So you gotta check that on a regular basis to make sure that you do not miss important information. TMCC has a wonderful financial aid office, and we encourage everyone to fill out their FAFSA, apply for institutional methodology if you don't qualify for FAFSA, and take advantage of the many opportunities for scholarships and financial assistance that we offer. And then the other recommended step is testing. Now, I want to make it very clear. We do not require test scores at TMCC. If you are a student who wants to maybe skip some entry-level math classes, or perhaps wants to enroll in a higher-level biology class, taking the AccuPlacer, the ACT, or the SAT will give us really good information to show the college that you meet the requirements to take those classes. I love to tell students that TMCC is the school of choice because we have so many wonderful opportunities. Most of our students are, coming to TMCC interested in our transfer programs, which allow you to complete your first and second year classes at the community college level, and they prepare you to complete a bachelor's degree at a 4-year university. The community college and the university are partners. We are giving students opportunities, different opportunities, to meet their goals through education. At the community college level, at TMCC, we are a comprehensive community college, meaning that we will offer you anything from transfer education to bachelor's degrees. The main differences between a community college and a university are related to cost. The community college tends to be significantly more affordable. You can take care of your, first and second year classes, usually at, half the price or less. The community college classes are smaller. Our professors at the community college, their main job is to teach. So you will see them taking a full teaching load every single semester, which I think gives you a really nice connection with, faculty members and professors who, teach for a living. This is what they do. This is what they love to do. My favorite thing about TMCC is the feeling that people care. I don't feel like I'm walking around the campus where people are disconnected or where people are just showing up because they have to. I truly, truly feel that when we say that we are community, that we mean it. I want prospective students and families to know that a community college education is a comprehensive, full college experience. There's a lot of myths out there about community colleges. But I know that at TMCC, our standards are very high. We offer the best quality education available. We have some of the best faculty members in the country. We have amazing support services, amazing staff. Community college education is definitely the way to go. I can tell you that as a parent, I will 100% encourage my son to look at the community college when he gets there. It is a wonderful opportunity. It's one that all families should consider. And if you are thinking about TMCC, give us a call. We're here to help you.
There are a lot of choices within my division, a lot of different programs. And so I'll start with some of the bigger areas. We have the biology and community health science and nutrition. And these are really big areas, and these are pathways to their associate's degree and their pathways to bachelor's degree, and they align with programs at UNR. And they can be the launching point for a variety of careers in medicine and dietetics and in community health and public health. We also have things like nursing, dental hygiene, dental assisting, radiological technology. Veterinary nursing is also in the division. And then in public safety, we have programs to become an EMT or all the way up to become a paramedic. We have a fire academy. You can become a firefighter 1. And then we also have a program, a bachelor's level, emergency management and homeland security. And we have programs that are shorter term, like certified nursing assistant to become a CNA and to become a phlebotomist. So that is taking blood for testing or in clinics. And so there are so many options within the division. Programs are all fundamentally based on life sciences. So what do we know about the body, and what do we know about things that are related to our safety and our health? And so if we think about today and vaccines being available and understanding how these vaccines work and what's the efficacy and the safety. I mean, this is fundamental knowledge that can be important for people to make choices for themselves and their families. My career started I kind of changed my major a bunch in the beginning. So if students do that, they shouldn't feel badly about that. That happens to a lot of people. My love of teaching brought me toward the path of being a professor. So I was in the biology department for 15 years here at TMCC, teaching biology and a variety of courses. And then I got interested in sort of the picture of, at the administrative level and helping to run the department and helping to run the division. I think TMCC is unique and a great place because we are so student-focused. As a student, when you come here, basically everyone here is on your team. And so they're all rooting for you. They all want you to do the best. Students are interested in going directly into the workforce. We have shorter term trainings, things like the certified nursing assistant, phlebotomy, that if students want short term to have employable skills to go direct into the workforce, we have those options in my division. And then if students want to build on that, or they want to continue on a pathway and go toward an allied health program at the associate's level or something that would transfer to the bachelor's level. I think of it as having all these different stepping stones along the way. And along the way, you can have employable skills, something that can help support yourself while you're continuing your education. So where you start, maybe short term, but there's a lot of different pathway options beyond that if students want that. The best kept secret, I would say, is opportunities for doing research. So undergraduate research, getting involved in research early in your college career can be just a great experience. Research as a way of learning is really a strength that we have to offer. So we have a variety of faculty members who have research projects going on, and students can get involved, and you really learn how science works. Students can get that experience at TMCC because we have some fabulous faculty, and they're interested, and they want to keep pursuing and answering the questions in their fields. There are very few, relatively speaking, community colleges engaged in undergraduate research. It's a best practice, and more are trying to bring it on board. But it really does take a dedicated faculty and support, and we have the momentum. So we're in a good place, and we've been doing it for a while, so cutting edge. Yeah, so for students, I would say, organizing your time is a great skill, and it's something you need to practice, and you'll get better at it. So organizing your time is important in college, and advocating for yourself. It may seem like a long journey at the beginning, and that can feel overwhelming, but every step gets you closer. So I would say not to get discouraged. Everyone has a tough class, a tough semester, things you're trying to juggle and balance in your life, and just keep going. And take advantage of what's available. So go to office hours. That's where faculty are sitting there, and it could be Zoom or in person, and they are just waiting to answer your questions. And it could feel intimidating, but that's their job, and they love what they teach. So take advantage of office hours, take advantage of tutoring and other resources that are available, and advocate, and it'll make every step easier along the way.
So in the technical science division, we have automotive technology, diesel technology, welding technology, machining. We have advanced manufacturing, which is automation and robotics, HVAC, which is heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration, architecture, construction management, and not located in this building, but within our division, we also have the computer information technology, which has web design, cyber security, networking degrees. We have criminal justice and paralegal law programs. I see a lot of students into the automotive program. Everyone has a car. They want to learn how to take care of it. So they come to us wanting to learn how to work on their car, but then get ingrained and stay in the industry. Welding is always popular. I think that's because it's a strong, there's always strong hiring in that field. And also the fire, which is very cool. Our advanced manufacturing is very popular. It's because it's growing in the area and there's a lot of interest in it. And finally, I would say that the criminal justice program has stayed very strong, even with the recent events. And I find that's because I talk to the students and they really want to make a difference. So I think that program will continue to grow. The architecture program, it's in demand field. The students, they have a very active student club, and they take on a real life project every semester. So they're always out in the community doing a real life project. Technical sciences really is life skills. A lot of the skill sets you learn in the technical sciences are transferable into your actual life, or your friend's life, or your family's life. So that's really cool. And then again, the opportunity for expansion. So my career path was a little unusual. I was actually a community college student myself in electrical and automation technology. And that led me to a job writing, which led me to my next degree. And ultimately, I ended up in administration. So it really wasn't a linear career path. But that's what I tell students all the time, is when you study to be a welder, an automotive technician, or a machinist, it doesn't mean you're always going to be in that role. There's going to be opportunities to move into management and supervision and sales and all kinds of things. In addition to the technical skills that we teach students, employers are really interested in getting students that are ready to go when they land on the job. And that includes communication skills, teamwork, problem solving, and just employability skills like getting there on time and being dressed correctly and whatnot. So we integrate those elements into our programs. All of our instructors in our division have applied experience in that industry that they're teaching in. So they really can tell students what it's going to be like in the workplace and have them prepared. And I would say absolutely our students are ready to go to work, and we have some programs that the students are actually recruited out of the program prior to their graduation. It doesn't matter where you go in the college. We're all here to help you succeed. So I think that really makes the college unique. For undecided students, I really encourage students to come take a tour of our center, because students may come in thinking they want to be a machinist, but then they get in the welding lab and there's just, it's a spark. It's like their home. And so I really think that seeing the environment helps students decide where their passion lies. Think about what you're going into, because you're going to be working a good long time. And so try to find something that sparks your interest, because that's going to make getting through more enjoyable, and it's gonna feel easier. And also do the career research. So if you're thinking about being an automotive technician, go out and see how many jobs are on Indeed and what they're actually going to pay. So really know what you're getting into. Going to school in life, it's two things that are very hard to mix together. But I would encourage them to take it seriously, and they're paying to be here, whether it's through financial aid or out of pocket. Take it seriously, do your best. Our instructors are willing to work with you. If you show the effort, they will bend over backwards to help you. And then if you have some unexpected thing come up in your life, an illness, a fire, a car breakdown, they will work with you to try to get through the classes. So don't just give up. Don't just walk away because something happens. Talk to your instructors. I think I want students to know that we are actually here for them, and that sometimes they say, well, I don't want to bother you, or please bother us. Please call us, please email us, and we're here to help you succeed. And come in for a tour if you're interested in learning more about technical sciences.
There are several different ways, students can pay for college. Financial aid is the big one, federal aid, state aid, and institutional aid. You have scholarships that our foundation offers. Other outside organizations offer scholarships. Some students might have a college savings plan. Some of our older students, maybe who are working right now, they can, connect with their employer and see if there is some kind of tuition reimbursement program, or if they're, willing to pay for some of their classes. We also have our veteran students who served in the military, and even in the National Guard, who can also get assistance with their college. So there are so many different ways, and if students, come to our office, we're happy to share what resources are out there, and it's essentially making your college education free. A loan is a type of federal student aid. It's money you have to pay back to the government. The federal Pell Grant is based on your eligibility when you complete the FAFSA. So it's money you don't have to pay back. And then scholarships are different from a grant in a sense that when students apply for scholarships, it's just based on the eligibility requirements, based on the donor or organizations that's offering the scholarship. But it's also free money, and it doesn't have to be paid back. The FAFSA is a free application for federal student aid. So this is the application that we encourage all students to complete if they're interested in receiving financial aid when they go to college here at TMCC. The FAFSA application, it's free, so you should never have to pay for it. We use the application as a universal application towards students for other aid. So if we have any state aid or institutional aid, we use the FAFSA application to award students. So there is this big misconception that my parents make too much money, or I make too much money, I'm not going to fill out the FAFSA because I'm not going to get the Pell Grant. But the reality is financial aid it's not just federal grants, student loans, but it does consist of state financial aid and also institutional aid. So I always encourage students to complete a FAFSA because you never know what you're missing out on. On the FAFSA, there is a question that asks you if you're interested in work study. You want to mark yes for that question. And we use that information, again, to allocate funding for students who are eligible for work study. There are a lot of benefits of being a work study student and working on campus. A lot of departments on campus really prioritize student success, so they will always be flexible with students' schedules, especially if students need extra time to study for an exam or work on a project. Students can expect to come to our office and receive help from completing the FAFSA from the start, helping them complete any additional financial aid documents that they need to complete their file. If they're interested in student employment, financial literacy, I think honestly what makes TMCC unique is at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you talk to or what department they're working from, but everyone is always committed to make sure our students succeed, and will find way to support them and help them in any way they can. Having a college education can make a difference and impact your family's lives more than you know it. And you set up as the first student in the family to go to college and graduate, you kind of set that up for the rest of your family of what other opportunities are there. I'm a low-income, first-generation student. So when I was given the opportunity to participate in a college-bound program, that college-bound program has helped me every step of the way. Through assistance, I was able to graduate from UNR with my bachelor's degree. I was participating in the TRIO program, which also helped me tremendously. I worked on my master's, and I was able to get my college education paid with a combination of federal aid and also working as a graduate assistant. I went on to pursue my PhD. Here I am, working. I finished my PhD in the middle of the pandemic. In the middle of the pandemic, after having a baby, and my baby was only 2 months old, defended my dissertation on Zoom. So it's been wild, but I want to tell students that if you put your mind to something, you will get it done, and there will always be people to help you along the way. So don't ever be afraid to ask for help or what resources and opportunities are out there, because you just never know.
Well, our division is composed of graphic arts, visual and performing arts, humanities, and English. So it's a very broad range in our division. So we've got studio arts, which are really fascinating, painting, sculpture, ceramics, things like that. We've also got a great graphic arts program. We even have a bachelor's degree pertaining to graphic arts. So a lot of students are very interested in that. Then in humanities side, we have two really big degrees, one of which is communication, which is considered one of the top 10 degrees to get in terms of job prospects, and also foreign language, especially Spanish and French. And those are two very valuable skills in our diverse environment that we live in. Finally, we have English, which is also considered one of the top 10 degrees according to the Princeton Review, because it's very useful for a variety of communication elements and also for good writing skills, good reading skills, things like that. Now, a lot of people think that a degree in humanities is not very practical compared to something vocational like dental hygiene or mechanics, diesel engines, things like that. Those are very practical too. But interestingly enough, when it comes down to it, a lot of humanities degrees are very popular because in the long run, the average salaries that people earn are actually higher than in vocational degrees. If you do not earn even an associate's degree, you only stand a 25% chance of making it to middle class, right? So education truly is the secret to achieving dreams that you want. If you want to own a home, if you want to have a family, if you want to have stability and health insurance and things like that, the number one thing that you can do to invest in yourself is education. Liberal arts study a whole variety of different things, but one of the things that's very important is when it comes down to it, it teaches especially critical thinking, information literacy, and the skills that employers are actually looking for, especially from top positions, right? Now, while it is very practical to, let's say, study nursing, right? They also want somebody who's going to become the head nurse or a nurse practitioner or a leader in a medical field. They would want that person to have good communication skills, good writing skills, good critical thinking, and good analysis skills. So the liberal arts themselves teach a lot of the what they call soft skills that seem to be missing today. My advice to undecided students is to explore as many different fields as possible. Take a sociology class, take psychology, take a business course, take an English literature course, take a communication class, study a foreign language, right? Try to get as much breadth as possible, talk to a lot of friends, But then also, as I mentioned before, try to think of the things that you truly love, the things that really get you fascinated, that really get your imagination flowing, right? Those were usually the fields that will end up leading to something interesting as far as a career choice is concerned. A wise person once said, "Do what you love and the money will follow." One of the best kept secrets in at TMCC is our amazing performing arts faculty, right? We've got some amazing music, dance, theater professors that are really inspirational to the students. And then I don't think a lot of people know so much about our bachelor's degree in graphic arts, which really prepares students for the computer use, technology, printmaking, and things like that that really allow students to enter the workforce immediately. If your website doesn't look good, what use is it, right? If you're going to publish or print materials, you want a good graphic designer associated with that. We are such a visually oriented culture, and we're a very visually oriented race. And as a result of our species loving to look at stuff, graphic arts is more and more and more not just an art, it's also a craft and a technology. Fun fact about myself, I'm originally from Reno. I'm a fourth generation Nevadan, so my great-grandparents used to own the Lightning W Ranch in Washoe Valley, but they lost it in the Great Depression. Man, I wish we still had that property. I would say one of the best bits of advice is really engage in the culture of community college, right? Make friends, talk to a lot of people. Don't just be the person that sits in the back of the class and participates in class and then bolts out off the campus. You can learn what professors to pick. Pick your professors, learn who you really like, and you'll end up getting a lot more out of it than just sort of walking through the paces, going through the paces of just attending school. This is the time when a lot of people really blossom. People really discover a lot more about themselves. They develop a lot more self-confidence. They have a lot more intellectual stimulation. They make a lot of friends that they keep for life. A lot of people meet their future spouse as well. So college is great.
Dual credit is an awesome opportunity for high school students to earn both college and high school credit at the same time. The cool thing about dual credit is that it comes with various benefits, so it really depends on what the student's trying to achieve. But ultimately, students can, get college credits out of the way, they can get graduation, high school requirements out of the way, or we have students that just take our classes for fun. So some of the benefits we've seen of students is taking a college class not only gives them a lot of confidence for when they do enroll in college level courses after high school, but it also helps them complete a lot of general education requirements for their degrees. And lastly, a lot of these students actually enroll in the dual credit courses to complete high school graduation requirements. So for instance, with some of our partners, taking a class with us for a semester gives them a year-long credit at the high school. When they hear the Jumpstart dual credit, it's kind of intimidating, but they just have to do 4 easy steps. The first step is apply to TMCC, which takes about 10 minutes to apply. It's the general TMCC application. After they do that, we do have an orientation that kind of goes through what the program is, what are the requirements for Jumpstart student, what are some of the things they can expect, as well as the resources they have available to them. After they do the orientation, which they can do from home online, the third step is the permission to enroll form. This is the step that takes a little more effort on the student's part. They will have to get their parent and counselor signature, but this is where they tell us what courses they want to take, where we then go process their enrollment. So since Jumpstart students are under 18, they actually don't enroll themselves, with a few exceptions. So for the most part, we are the ones that process the enrollment for the students. So once they complete the third step, we will just send them a confirmation email letting them know, hey, you've been enrolled in your desired course. We do recommend that they have above a certain GPA, just because college level courses are, more rigorous. They will require more work on the student's behalf, so we want them to be ready. But ultimately, as long as they're from 9th through 12th grade, they qualify for dual credit. So we do have 2 awesome distinctions in our program. The first one is Jumpstart cohort classes. So these are classes that we typically hold at high school sites or partner sites for a certain amount of high school students. The second distinction is the Jumpstart to TMCC, which is when students can take a TMCC course as long as they meet the prerequisites. So this part is a little more popular for students that have outgrown certain subjects in their school. So for instance, if they've taken every possible math course at their high school, the J2 portion is an awesome opportunity for them to come to TMCC and take the next level of math that there is. We have a lot of different modes of instruction for Jumpstart students, just like any other college student. So we have online asynchronous courses, which mean they're completely online and do not have any set meeting days or times. We have Web Live, which means the class is online, but it does have designated days or times. And then we have, of course, the traditional in-person course, which they go during designated days and times in person. And then we also have hybrid. Hybrid means they actually go once on in person and the rest online. The Jumpstart program is just one of the dual credit programs that TMCC has to offer. We do have other awesome programs. So we have CTE College Credit, which is the articulated dual credit option. That means high school students can take their high school electives and get credit after they graduate as long as they meet certain steps. For that program, they would actually contact CTE College Credit for those that are actually taking classes during the high school. And then we have TMCC High School, which is more of a middle college experience. These students actually come to our TMCC campus and take college level courses. With TMCC High School, the goal is for them to graduate with an associate at the end of high school graduation. So they do accumulate a lot of credits. With the Jumpstart program, the difference with those two is that you can take a college level course while staying at your home school. You don't necessarily have to come to TMCC full time or only take your high school electives. Ours is kind of like the best of both worlds. You can stay at your high school, be with your friends and still take college level courses and get ahead. I just want them to reach out and ask us questions. This is an awesome opportunity that they can take advantage now while they're in high school to either get ahead for their degree, meet graduation requirements, or meet awesome people and get gain that college experience that they will need for the long run. TMCC is a place that makes you feel a part of something. I feel it's a campus where it's big and small enough to make you feel important in whatever program or degree that you're a part of. I think we have so many wraparound services, so many people that will genuinely care about these students and walk them through their degree. I am actually a proud TMCC alum. I graduated from TMCC back in 2014. I did my associates here and then I transferred on to UNR, but I actually worked here as a student worker as well, and I absolutely love TMCC, so I think it's a great place to be.
Well, in the Math and Physical Sciences division, we have chemistry and computer science and environmental science, geology, math, and engineering. Well, in Math and Physical Sciences, we explore the wonders of the natural world. Students will gain hands-on, authentic science exposure, whether that be in chemistry or in physics or in geology. And every year, students with STEM degrees are the most employed with the highest average starting salary. And so it provides meaningful work for students. You get to go out and problem solve what matters and help make a difference in the world. Our most popular degree paths would be engineering and computer science. Jobs in these fields are of high pay and high demand. Our programs easily transfer to UNR. And additionally, we do see a high enrollment in our supporting science classes, such as chemistry, because those also prepare the students to be successful in their downstream programs. I think TMCC is unique because we offer small classes with exceptionally qualified instructors. Our instructors in science in my area teach both the lecture and the lab. So we don't have TAs running the lab, so our instructors will get to know you. And teaching is truly at the heart of what they do. And so I think that's what makes TMCC unique for a learning experience. I think that we not only prepare students to do the work and understand the work through our curriculum and our content, but we prepare them to be successful in the work that they do. We foster interaction, student to student and student to teacher interaction. We foster communication, and problem-solving skills, and try to keep our students engaged as much as possible so that they are well-rounded when they go into the workforce. We have a wonderful array of classes for non-science majors. So we have, for example, Environmental Science 100. So this explores the foundational relationship between humans and the environment, discusses many of the current environmental and climate issues that our students are going to face. It's a great introduction to the science class that is for students with no science background. Another great class would be Astronomy 100. It does have a prerequisite of Math 120, but it's another great general education class designed for students with no science background and 4 labs to give them a real science exposure. For those that are undecided, I would say pick your downstream program of what you're most interested in, and then look at your course sequence and try to pick some classes that give you a nice breadth so that you can use that as a way to keep exploring and keep learning. We have a couple great things going on. One, we have a very informal group called the Math League. And this group meets once a week and introduces students to interesting topics that they'll find outside the math standard curriculum, such as the origins of E and Fibonacci numbers and the golden ratio and why we see rainbows the way that we see rainbows. Additionally, TMCC has the STEM Society, which is a student club, and this is a great club for students, and it shares information about undergraduate research opportunities, internships, and other science career exposure. And you can even like them now on Facebook under TMCC STEM Society to find out what they're doing and find more information about the sciences. One fun fact is I actually started as the math tutoring coordinator here many, many years ago, and then taught and now dean, and student learning is still at the heart of why I'm here. Another fun fact is I would rather throw a Frisbee than a ball. As a prospective student, I think another great place that makes TMCC unique, especially for those pursuing math and science, is our Tutoring and Learning Center. The center is designed to support students holistically through their learning experience. We have high qualified tutors that really try to make a difference with students in an effective way with one-on-one tutoring and small group tutoring. And not all colleges have that as a free resource for students. So when you come, I will encourage you to take advantage of this valuable resource.